Let's go to a court in Finland now that has sentenced a controversial leader of a Nigerian secessionist movement to 6 years in prison. What is his offense according to the law?
There is no offense. How do you... Let me look here. Madam, these people are simply saying Biafra, Nigeria, is no more. And they have the right in Europe to say so. Two, Nigerian system itself has said they don't, the court relied on intelligence from Nigeria. Asanda, which Nigerian intelligence can give you the credibility? It's corrupt, underfunded, compromised by terrorists. They have recruited the terrorists in intelligence system. So the information, Finland collapsed in its all democratic format. When it said it relied on Nigeria's intelligence information. Anybody can come up and say, Asanda is doing this, that. Do you go and use that intelligence? Finland is one country that is now changing from proper democratic institutions to being corruptly entering Africa by paying huge sums to get contracts. Finland has been given contracts with Nigeria. Nigeria has given them to build dams, gas pipelines, and so many dispensaries. They are corrupt. They just wanted to get this guy to appease the Nigerian government. If you look at the evidence, I've read the entire evidence of how the three judges came to a conclusion. I bet if it was in South African court, it would be thrown out on the first day. There is no judgment where you say you use the intelligence, Nigerian intelligence, when Nigeria itself has terrorists, part of the intelligence system in Nigeria. They are terrorists, and they have admitted. And they have admitted they have recruited some. So which intelligence information did they use? I'm telling you, that sentence is going to be quashed by the European Court of Human Rights in Strasbourg. It will be quashed. That guy will walk out free.
So what now then for Simon Ekpa, this Finnish citizen of Nigerian descent? Must he go the human rights route, as you say?
I want to tell you, originally, these people wanted to kidnap this man quietly at night. Thanks God, people started going to European court somewhere. And, volunteers stopped it and told Finland that you are in trouble. We know what you are doing. They wanted to take him without even going through the court. This man is a Finnish, a citizen. He has been in Finland for over 30 years. Where do you take him? What has he done? He's simply saying Nigeria needs to be rearranged. All of us in Africa know that Nigeria has collapsed. All of us in Africa know there is no administration in Nigeria. All of us know that Nigeria is a country without a country and a state without a state. Governance has collapsed. And these people are simply saying, can we rearrange Nigeria and go away? It's like what I have told you about Congo. Biafrans are over 80 million people out of 250. But there are people killing people there. There are terrorists coming down daytime and they take over your house, take over your farm, feed on your food, kill your people. They are there. It is happening. And African Union has not said any word. United Nations Security Council has not said any word. United Nations habitually sentenced Nigeria to a country which has abducted people, killed people, and if you have such reports, how can you sentence a man for 6 years when you know that the state you are dealing with is a rogue state?
Pan-African, Mazanga, I think in the past was championing Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's radio broadcast, IPOB program in Kenya. He was a good friend of Mazen and Kanu. And if you ask me, I will tell you, when Kanu was abducted in Nairobi, the person he went to look for was this Masanga David of a person. He has been a good staunch supporter of IPOB, indigenous people of Biafra, who has been given radio, program, all over Africa, all over social media in that regard. Fighting for Biafra, fighting for Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, what do you call it, agitation. So Masanga, a Pan-Africanist, has actually taken Finland, not only Finland, and Nigeria to court, international court. Because they violated Simon Ekpa, they violated Kanu. Kanu is now in jail unnecessarily. Then Simon Ekpa was wrongly jailed. That's why they question the legal, let me say, competence, legality of the judgment in Finland that has actually, given Simon Ekpa 6 years. Masanga actually know that it has the right, the impetus to challenge that Finnish judgment. It is not right at all. Africans want to be free, to operate as a continent irrespective of dependence. Yes, on European country, Western Europe. If not because of Pan-Africanism, we still remain under British tutelage. The Pan-African were the elderly statesmen that fought across Africa for African independence from 1957 down to even 1975. I could remember vividly, Ghana was 57, Egypt, I think Egypt should be 56 or 52, Nigeria 1960, some countries 61 then, Angola was 75, then this country, Zimbabwe, 80-81, then the latest was Southern Africa in 1989. I mean independence, how African states fought for their independence. So what I'm trying to say is that Pan-Africanism, they are working hard in line with the Burkina Faso president, military head of state, Ibrahim Traore. This young man is trying to liberate Africa, for Africa to be, independent of European, whatever they actually said they are bringing forth here to help Africa. Traore is working hard to make sure that we produce everything here. We can do everything on our own. We are not going to depend on Europe anymore. You can see France. France has been chased away out of Burkina Faso. All the foreign companies who are trying to neo-colonize or recolonize Burkina Faso, they have all been sacked, repatriated to their countries. Local production has started taking place, or its impact in Burkina Faso, especially agricultural irrigation, all the equipment needed. This young man, this young military head of state has provided it for his country, Burkina Faso. So there is much awareness created by Ibrahim Traore that we, the Africans, could be, existing on our own, politically, socially, and otherwise, without looking at Europe, without looking at Asia. Burkina Faso is now a single independent state. Nigeria is still proving to be African giant, got in independence in 1960, but yet we are not free. We are not independent yet from the British tutelage or imperialism. Britain is still in control of this place, and some West African economic states under ECOWAS are still under the tutelage and the imperialism of the French. So what Pan-Africans like Masanga is doing is being supported by Burkina Faso military head of state. That's why Masanga is taking Finland, not only Finland, but with Nigeria to International Criminal Court, because that judgment is fallible. It's a fallible judgment. You don't judge somebody or arrest somebody, convict him of a crime while he is fighting for self-determination, is fighting to protect his region, is fighting to have a say on the political leadership of the country called Nigeria. Simon Ekpa did not commit any crime. I think Masanga is doing the normal thing, the right thing he should do, and the rest of the Pan-Africanists.
Okay, should AU and UN, should they interfere in this issue? Do you think it's right for them?
Why are you asking should they? They have the 100% right, impetus, prerogative to intervene. Intervention is it. Why? United Nations, Finland, most of the African states are members of United Nations. And I want to tell you that today Nigeria is bragging and talking and threatening the Igbos, threatening the civilians because they are the politicians that feel that they are God, you know, over us. But there are establishments or institutions, yes, established in the world that supersede Africa as a continent, supersede AU as an African platform that takes care of other member states of African continent. That AU is the Organization of African Unity that was formed before in Africa. That was during African regaining independence era. Then again, they supersede ECOWAS as a platform in Africa because ECOWAS is for West African states. Then again, there's a platform, an institution that supersedes AU, African Union, which was before Organization of African Unity, that can take care of you if African Union could not do anything. That institution is an organization of all the member states or nations of the earth. The name is United Nations Organization with their headquarters in New York. The Secretary General is the highest paid civil servants in the world, collecting $48,000 in 1980s as salary. I'm talking about 40-something years ago. Presently, don't you know what their salary is? Yes, they are still the highest paid civil servant public office holder in the world. Their salary is more than the salary of the President of the United States of America. That is United Nations Secretary General. They are the one that should interfere and ask Nigeria why. AU is dragging backward. Why? We have many errand boys, you know, slave men, presidents, and head of states within the platform AU. They are working for Britain. Those presidents that have not yet given their support to Pan-Africans. They are in Kenya. They are in Nigeria. Politicians in Madagascar, politicians in some other African countries, they still work hand in hand with Britain, with the Spanish, with the French. So that's why I'm telling you that most of the countries in Africa are not independent yet. So what I'm saying now is the Pan-Africans are taking it serious because it is their right to make sure that African citizens are truly free from the, you know, hand grip, let me say, slavery of the political leaders in all these countries. So that's why AU can interfere. If AU is being sluggish about it, it is because the components of AU are made up of all the errand boys of the British, the Spanish, and the Portuguese. They are still serving the colonial masters, and they are the head in AU as a platform holding the whole Africa together. The United Nations itself, we have a say, African nations have a say, Americans have a say in the United Nations, and they have right to ask any erring president why, how. That's why Tinubu must be called to order. He should check his excesses. Tinubu excesses is becoming unbecoming. Someone was set free many years ago. It still allows him to be perishing in jail. I think United Nations has to interfere. For Mazen Nandikano, Simon Ekpa's ordeal.
My beloved brother, let me tell you, today is something that many people do not know. The reason why Bianca Ojukwu was appointed. She was not appointed basically on some issues related to the betterment of Nigeria or the issue related to Nigeria affair. Forget the fact that they included there whether free international affair or whatsoever minister, foreign affair minister. Do you know the meaning of that foreign affair minister? It to send her and use her against her own blood. Because Nigeria has seen it, the only way to fight Igbo people or to fight the Biafrans is by using the Biafrans against the Biafran. And that is why they use the wife of the late Biafran motivator.
So that you can tell Finland that
so that they can use her to enter Finland and to convince Finland that even her husband, this is the man
wife who fought the Biafran war. Look at the statement or the character of the wife now. Regarding, you know, people like that will come up on social media and tell lies which their husband has never, you know, told them. So then now look at it. What shall we do to stop this young man? Ever since we have tried to bribe him, ever since we have tried to, you know, figure out things which he refused to adhere, which he refused to comprehend, which he has refused to wake up. So let's do it this way. Let us use his own blood, a fellow Biafrans, to tackle him. You see why they look at who fit the office. Who is the person that suit to the office? And they see no other person that suit the office than Bianca Ojukwu. You see why they give Bianca the appointment that they gave to her. Do you understand? And you will agree with me, the very month that they gave Bianca that office was the very month after visiting Finland, that the Finland Laity police invited Simon Ekpa. And from there, they hold Simon Ekpa. I don't know whether you get the point now. And they go to Sidious Musa and Co. accuse Simon Ekpa on being the one responsible for the killings that is going on in the southeast. And the question I want to put to Finnish government regard to what the judgment that they have just recently passed on Simon Ekpa. I want to ask, ever since you people hold Simon Ekpa, does killing stop in the southeast? Does killing stop in the whole federation called Nigeria? Even as we speak now, Castena is in siege. As we speak now, Sokoto is in siege. Jigawa is calling on Easterners for help. As we speak now, my beloved brother, in Kwara State, they have given an instruction for a whole village, Yorubas, that are in Kwara State to evacuate. Is that one Simon Ekpa again? Whereby they are giving somebody who owns a land a quick notice in his ancestral land. Is it not beyond terrorism?
Why is it so much focus on the southeast?
Why the focus on southeast is something that I want to tell you. The southeast, they say, have been a stronghold while they are shouting one Nigeria. Are you hearing me? The one Nigeria they are still talking about today is because of the southeast. The resistance of the southeast region against the Fulanization of this country, against Islamization of this country. That is why they still have mouth to say one Nigeria. The resources which they are still making in the southeast, that is why they are still recognizing one Nigeria. Remember, the northern elite last year said it clearly and boldly that if not for the Igbos, that they would have, when we were debating and talking about Obi won election and it was not given to him, one northern elder said that the Igbos should start accepting Islam if they want to rule Nigeria. El-Rufai is another living person who made similar statement. And they said, end up certainly that until we accept Islam, that why Yorubas rule is because Yorubas are Islamic nation people. Whether you get it. He said, the allies said, if not for the Igbos, they would have succeeded in their dream, achieving their goal. And if you take a look at that statement, you agree with me that in the middle belt now, Fulani has taken over middle belt. They have conquered middle belt. Even to the point that Benue governor is under the influence and control of Fulani. You understand? So the Benuans doesn't have anything to do, achieve, even in their own land. They have surrendered. And that was why over 200 of Benuans was killed and roasted in a day within under 24 hours. And up to date, Nigerian government didn't do anything till date. Even when Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president, visited Benue, he left. The very day he left, over 50 was killed. And Sidia Musa did not send marching order. He did not send 21 armor tanker. He did not send any armor in Benue. What about Katsina? Are you hearing me? Do you know, as we speak now, ADC, African Democratic Congress, one of the parties which Atiku and Co are colliding, forming together to use against Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Do you know that they are calling Bola Ahmed Tinubu today to come and declare state of emergency in the north? He refused to do that till date.
State of emergency.
Yes, to declare state of emergency. In Katsina, Bola Ahmed Tinubu refused to do that because he knew that he's not going to gain anything if he do that. That was why in one of my interviews, I told them that what has been happening or what happened in Kaduna, Lagos and every other place in a part of Nigeria is not to compare only the just little, misunderstanding between Wike and Fugbara. He declared state of emergency because of the oil. East has been always the place to use for one Nigeria. Soak it. Sultan of Sokoto, 23 oil well in Niger Delta. Asari Dokubo, the foolish old man, did not have any potter or any quarter of gold in the north. And he's there dancing and clapping for Fulani. And the Fulani, one person, old 23 oil block. What a shame in your father's land. Now Bianca is celebrating. Now Nigeria is rejoicing. Because to them they have achieved their goal. But they don't know that that movement, that what is on the ground, what has played now, is a very big and a huge plus to Biafra. To Biafran race. And to as well, those DOS and those the Biafrans and Nigerians that never believe in Simon Ekpa, who call Simon Ekpa a fraud, who called him all sorts of names. Now they will agree with us that believed in him, with the Simon Ekpa himself, that of a truth to genuinely that Simon Ekpa is fighting a genuine cause. Because the judgment passed on by the Finnish government have made it openly to the world that Simon Ekpa is actually fighting for agitating for freedom of Biafra.
How come?
Yes.
So why did I sentence him to 6 years?
It's part of the struggle. Name a freedom fighter that did not engage himself or being accused of terrorism.
But they didn't call it a freedom. They didn't say it was freedom fighting. They said,
how did they charge? What did they charge?
Terrorist. Yes, for terrorism.
What did they charge him?
Terrorism.
They charged him for terrorism. Where?
Terrorism.
Southeast.
Yes.
They say southeast of,
excuse
me, southeast of Nigeria. He said he buy a gun. And did you see gun in his hand? Have you ever seen
for them?
I want to ask you a question. Since 2007 that Simon Ekpa traveled to overseas as an athlete, have you ever seen him in Nigeria? I'm asking. Do you ever see him in Nigeria? And how did you, which means did he use to export or to transport the arms down to Nigeria? If you know the means which he uses to transfer the arms down to Nigeria, why didn't you stop it? Why didn't you arrest those people? Why is it that Tujibelo is still working freely? Is it not? Are they not the one transporting arms? How did the Tujibelo get arms? I'm asking now. How did he get arms? He got his arms through the process of their terrorism, kidnapping, raping, and otherwise. And you say Simon Ekpa. Okay, let's agree that Simon Ekpa committed such. On what purpose? Are you hearing me? 2, is he the first person to have done that? Or is he going to be the last? Because other nations will still rise up one day and fight for their freedom. In Sudan, it happened. South Africa, it happened. America today go through that to get their independence, including Finland, Finnish government. How did the Ukraine get their own independence? No, let us, anything that regard to Igbos, people always take it differently in a different angle. Now, ever since the Finnish government to hold Simon Ekpa, has killing and kidnapping and raping stopped up to this very moment, even as we speak now. Has it stopped? I am throwing it as a question. Somebody should, answer me. The capital answer of it is no. It has not stopped. It has not stopped. Rather, it increases. That is to tell you that Finnish government have made a very huge mistake regard to the case of Simon Ekpa by giving him 6 years jail time. And I love it because they have now pushed Simon Ekpa into the corridor of what? Of procedures of freedom as one of the freedom fighters, which Nigeria was denying him of, which DOS was denying him of. Now, the Finnish law have included him as one of the freedom fighters, of which we, the Biafrans, are going to appeal for it within 7 days from that day. So, by the special grace of God, from now till next week, you will hear it in the court. We are going to appeal because under the cessation of the UN Charter, according to UN Charter in freedom fighters, Simon Ekpa has not committed offense. I will tell you this. Go and check their charter, section 1 and 55. It qualifies Simon Ekpa to do what he did to gain freedom. So he has not acted outside the law of the UN Charter. So he still remains under the corridor of UN Charter. Hello? Are you getting it now? So I am putting many people through over what they did not know. So what has happened now? Give us more legal rights, legal recognition regard to Simon Ekpa. And if at the end of the day he has to, face the law according to the judge conclusion, that 3 years already serve 9 months. So if at the end of the day you will agree with me that he will not spend more than, let's say, 2 years, then and by the time he does that and comes out, he will be a free man, isn't it? And when he becomes a free man, does he stop the struggle? No. That means you are giving him a legal right to pursue the goal without anybody interference again.